Welcome to War India News Hour. Will 2022 witness the pandemic turning into an endemic? India has welcomed 2022 with Omicron and Unicorn parallelly. It is crystal clear that mutations of COVID-19 viruses are here to stay for at least the next few years. It is likely that towards the later part of 2022, COVID-19 may establish itself as an endemic disease in India. What is worse is, this variant has struck just when companies across industries had managed to get back some semblance of normalcy or were gearing to reopen their office spaces for their employees. The government has warned people not to be lulled by the narrative that the third wave or Omicron wave is mild and not fatal. The World Health Organization has named the Omicron as variant of concern, and it is concerning the whole world. The new variant of COVID-19 is also named as B.1.529. Most common symptoms of the new COVID variant Omicron are fever, cough, tiredness, loss of taste or smell, and the less common symptoms for the new COVID variant Omicron are sore throat, headache, aches, pains, diarrhea, a rash on skin, discoloration of fingers or toes, red or irritating eyes, whereas the serious symptoms for the new COVID variant Omicron are difficult breathing or shortness of breath, loss of speech or mobility, or confusion or chest pain. This is a good thing that the Government of India is working to stop the spread of the new variant of this deadly virus, and we can also say that the vaccines have also helped India to defeat the virus. A study comparing clinical parameters and outcome of the patients admitted with Omicron wave with previous waves is important for understanding and planning strategy for managing this third wave in India. It is indeed clear that Omicron causes severity, hospital admissions and deaths, that is of 2.7% among patients coming to emergency. Also, it is proven beyond doubt that vaccination almost does not prevent infection with Omicron, but certainly reduces the severity of infection and leads to better outcomes. The admission rate of 41.3% among emergency visits and mortality of 2.7% should convey caution to all of us. The vaccination should be the key as it works for all the variants in reducing severity. We should also utilize the newer therapy of molnupiravir and monoclonal antibodies judiciously, especially for elderly and with comorbidities, to minimize severity and prevent mortality. The number of cases in India are too large to be complacent. The system is well oiled and geared up to take care of a large number of severe cases. However, let us plan that we do not reach a stage where our healthcare system is overwhelmed, especially at a large number of healthcare workers are getting this infection. Most doctors in the reputed hospitals in Delhi are recommending the molnupiravir capsules. Last year, remdesivir injection was used to treat coronavirus disease. There were records of selling millions of doses of duplicate remdesivir injections and were seized last year in various parts of the country. Now, with the recent news on COVID, antiviral drug molnupiravir has raised major safety concerns. ICMR Chief Dr. Balram Bhargava said it has not been included in the national protocol for treatment of coronavirus. He further said the World Health Organization and the UK have not included it for treatment. It can cause teratogenicity, mutagenicity, and it can also cause cartilage damage and can also be damaging to muscles also. Contraceptions will have to be done for 3 months for male and female if this drug is given, because the child born could be problematic due to teratogenic influence as per the reports. Let's look into today's headlines in War India. The second phase of Green Energy Corridor gets cabinet approval. The government approved the second phase of the Green Energy Corridor with an investment of Rs 12,031 crores to enable grid integration and power evacuation of about 20 gigawatts of renewable energy projects in 7 states including Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka among others. The scheme will help in achieving the target of 450 gigawatts installed renewable energy capacity by 2030. Union Minister Anurag Thakur said the second phase will be implemented during 2021 to 22 to 2025 to 26 fiscal years, adding that 80% of the phase 1 work has been completed. Bitcoin may reach $100,000, reports Goldman Sachs. A new report from Goldman Sachs shows that Bitcoin transcended all other asset classes over the past year, giving investors a 60% return. Citing Bitcoin's $700 billion market capitalization compared to around $2.6 trillion worth of gold owned as an investment, Goldman Sachs said that the cryptocurrency currently has a 20% share of the store of value market. In a hypothetical scenario in which Bitcoin grabs a 50% share of this market, its price would reach just over $100,000. In spite of industry slowdown, HBO Max records growth. HBO Max streaming service gained subscribers through the holidays, defying the slowing pace of growth at some rival services. HBO ended the year with 73.8 million subscribers to its streaming service and namesake cable network, up from 69.4 million in September. These gains, together with the addition of nearly 90 lakhs paying monthly phone subscribers, sent shares up 3% to $26.46 in midday trading. Dunzo raises $240 million investment in its latest funding round. Hyperlocal delivery startup Dunzo has raised $240 million in a funding round led by Reliance Retail Ventures Limited with participation from existing investors. Reliance Retail will own a 25.8% stake in Dunzo, post investing $200 million on a fully diluted basis. Dunzo plans to use the funds to further enable instant delivery of essentials from a network of micro warehouses, while also expanding its B2B vertical to enable logistics for local merchants in Indian cities. Rajaraman assures speedy approval for network rollout permits. Telecom Secretary K. Rajaraman has called for speedy approvals for granting network rollout permissions across the country and requested secretaries and representatives from states to facilitate the rapid disposal of applications. Rajaraman directed all the Department of Telecommunication field units to conduct monthly meetings with service providers to review the application approval process and pendency, and also pursue with the state and municipal authorities. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to VAR India News Magazine. You can download the VAR India app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.